Turning 60 changed the game for me. Not just about getting older, but a week after my 60th birthday, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm fine, almost 3 years cancer free, but that, along with all of the menopause symptoms, because I had to go off my HRT, and just all the things that come with aging, I've learned some amazing things. I'm going to share my 7 habits that I think were the real game changer for me being stronger, healthier, and happier than I was in my 40s. Ready to join me as we walk and learn about how to age powerfully from my personal experience? Put in that earbud, lace up those tennis shoes, and let's go. All right. You want to hike with me in Daly Ranch? This is a hiking trail just east of us where we live up in North Escondido. It's really beautiful. It was pretty cold this morning. This was early. This was probably about 7:15, 7:30. And I'm walking with my girlfriend, Lori. You might see her in the shot. So just ignore her. We didn't see anything fun on this walk, but we had a great conversation. And there are some steep hills coming up. I'm not sure if we'll get to that in this hike, but this is what Southern California looks like in the fall, kind of dry and pretty. This was a Saturday morning, so you might see other people too. It's a nice hiking trail, a nice biking trail. It's really lovely. Anyway, today what we're going to talk about is 7 habits I upgraded after 60. We're going to be doing a 3x3 walk. After a warm-up, we'll go 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow, 3 minutes fast, 3 minutes slow. You do what you want to do today. Maybe, hopefully, you'll get an aha about something you might want to try differently now that you're over 50, 60, 70. And again, this is what works for me. It might not work for you, but I don't know. When I talk about all these things, it feels good. It feels calm. It feels doable. So let's go. Here, I'm starting my timer for a gentle warm-up, stopping if you need to do a little stretch or adjusting your shoes. Remember posture always. Good posture, shoulders back and down, abs slightly engaged. Making sure that you're walking heel to toe. Your feet are going straight out, flat, not caved in or pronated or out, supinated. Just is so much better for your knees. All right, 7 habits I upgraded after 60. What I learned about feeling strong, healthy, and balanced in this new chapter of life. When I turned 60, I thought I had it all figured out. Didn't we all? Didn't we think we had it all figured out even when we were in our 30s? I had been eating well and exercising and doing all the, quote, right things for years that I thought were right. Looking back, there were some things I probably should have done a little differently. Somewhere along the way, I realized that my body was whispering a new message. What worked before isn't necessarily what works now. One of the big things I mentioned in the intro is that I think it was the week after my 60th birthday, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'm fine now. I'll be 63 as I'm filming this in just a month. And I'm almost 3 years cancer free. I had 2 small lumps that were DC1, ductile cancer, 1, very small, but the 2 lumps were far enough away that the doctor recommended a mastectomy as opposed to a lumpectomy and radiation. I did not have to do chemo. I did have to go off my HRT because the cancer that I had was estrogen and progesterone receptive. So what they're saying is that the cancer that I had liked estrogen and progesterone, so they try to get rid of it in your body, and HRT puts it in, so I had to get rid of it. So along with that and all the menopause stuff, I wasn't recovering as fast. My energy felt different. Some of the workouts I was doing that made me feel great left me exhausted and stiff and sore. Things like cardio. I just did another experiment again, and my husband got an e-bike, and I have an e-bike, and we have a really steep hill. And I went out with him and just did a lung burner cardio. Yes, my thighs were burning, but my cardio was really what I struggled with. And I was exhausted, where I could have done a really heavy strength workout and not felt the exact same way. So my body was definitely feeling different. I started paying closer attention to that. I was listening. Here we go. We're going to start a 3-minute fast cycle. So pick it up a bit. If you want some bone building, you can do a slight jog. This is 3 long minutes. So it is a little bit, and we're just warming up. So be careful. So I started to really pay closer attention. I listened, I experimented, kind of and journaled about how I was feeling before and after a workout, and learned a lot about what it really means to be healthy enough in this stage of life. Here's my 7 habits that I've upgraded after 50, little shifts that I swear made a big difference and are making a big difference. The first one is I focused on strength, not size. In my younger years, raise your hand, fitness was all about looking good, looking a certain way. The skinnier the better when I was growing up. To my bones' detriment, I did some bad things for my bones. Long endurance cardio, dieting, not prioritizing protein and all the nutrients. Dabbled a little bit in an eating disorder. Luckily, it didn't grab me. But now it's about feeling capable, being strong enough to travel. I'm going to Paris in what day is today? The 7th. December 9th, we're going to Paris with my 2 nieces to travel garden. Although I don't do much gardening. Lifting my own groceries. Keeping up with life. Instead of chasing smaller jeans, I celebrate when I can lift heavier weights. I did a lower body workout today with squats, and I lifted those 30 pounds. It was the last set. The first 2 sets, I did 25, but that last set I lifted 30, and I'm on my way to 35 pounds, lifting heavier weights, better posture. People telling me, oh God, you have nice posture. And being able to climb the stairs, hike these amazing hills with Lori. I think we're starting on a descent up, not a descent. We're going up. We're coming up across a little stream, which is, I'm amazed, is still running this time of year. But we did have some good rain last year. Where was I at? Being able to do these things without knee pain. Because muscle isn't vanity. It is vitality. Okay, the second thing I've done, the second habit that I changed is I truly have made protein my priority. If you're listening to this one, I just uploaded Walk and Learn before that about how do you know if you're getting enough protein. I do go over the amount of protein that is recommended, and it's super confusing because everybody tells you something different. I have a general rule of thumb, and I stick to that. I prioritize breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now walk slow, prioritizing getting enough protein, 20 to 30 grams at each meal, and I try to sneak in a high protein snack. This one took a time for me to get right, though. I used to grab a quick smoothie or a salad and think I was fueling. I was getting my veggies, and I often wasn't getting enough protein to maintain my muscle or keep my energy stable. I had to go back and track everything that I was eating. And just a couple of little tweaks here and there, adding protein powder to my morning coffee. I don't do a smoothie. I'm not a smoothie girl. I do it in a pinch if I want to crowd in a bunch of things, but it doesn't fill me up. I need the crunch. It's just me. There's some people that love smoothies, but I aim for 20 to 35 grams of protein in every meal, and I really do notice a difference. My workouts feel more effective. I recover faster, and I'm not raiding the pantry mid-afternoon. Do you guys do that? Get a little hungry, you start grazing through the pantry, just grab handful there, handful there. Protein makes you feel fuller. I don't obsess. There are some of you that are obsessive compulsive, and I know you count everything, you weigh everything. It makes me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I could get that way if I wasn't careful. I just make sure every meal includes something that supports my muscles. Eggs, Greek yogurt, chicken. I'm not a vegetarian. Fish. I've been doing some salmon in the air fryer, which is my all-time favorite. Tofu. I try. I don't do it a lot. Beans. I try, but they don't agree with my tummy. But yes, beans and tofu are perfect. And if you're pescatarian, fish is amazing. The third thing that I do is I lift heavier and smarter. There was a time when I thought lighter weights were safer. But after, you'll see in my early videos that I filmed in 2018, 2019, I was lifting the little pink and purple weights. Those were 3s and 5s. And now the lightest weight I use is an 8 for my shoulders. And the heaviest is, I'm up to 30 pounds. But I'm learning how bone and muscle really respond to that load. And what's so fun is I started challenging myself with heavier resistance, making sure my form was good, safety first, always. And I shocked the heck out of myself. I really was stronger than I thought. Yes, there are some days when that same weight feels a lot heavier, but I challenge you, if you haven't just tried maybe a couple sets of a heavier weight, making sure your form is good, it's amazing. Okay, we're going to go to a 3-minute fast session. Good. It's not lifting weights. It shouldn't be about ego either. If you're in a group class or you're exercising with a friend, it's about giving the body the signal that it needs to stay strong. I call it aging actively, training for the life I want to live. And that's being able to climb this hill. If you glance at your phone, this was a steep one. The fourth thing is I've deepened my nutrition from healthy to healing. For years, I focused on eating clean, whole foods, fruits and veggies. But after 60, I've started paying attention to how foods make me feel, not whether the foods are good. If you glance down, you'll see a biker. Those hills are just killer on a bike. I can't even imagine it. Feeling good. I swapped processed healthier foods for real foods, focused on anti-inflammatory choices, and started eating with a goal in mind to be stronger and more vibrant and feel better, not thinner. I have an ideal plate guide because a lot of people ask me for a meal plan. Sure, I can give you what I do. I'm not allowed to give you a meal plan because I'm not a registered dietitian, but I recommend proteins, carbs, and fats, listing the ones that make you feel good. And if you don't like beans or Brussels sprouts or asparagus or beef or something, don't put it in there, even though a meal plan says you should. If you don't like it, you're not going to eat it. So you go think about healing. What foods are going to make you feel better? The fifth one's a little controversial. I wasn't a supplement girl before. I thought I could get everything through the foods I was eating, but you can't. As you get older, I truly believe you need to supplement. Now, I'd recommend talking with a naturopath or your doctor or getting some tests, but I take my supplements seriously and personally now. I used to grab whatever supplements were trending. Now I look at them as targeted tools, not magic bullets, okay? I did work with someone on my cancer, so I'm taking some things that are crazy, like saffron. You might think are crazy, like saffron. And I'm taking CoQ10 and quercetin and vitamin C. And I'm taking vitamin D and calcium and vitamin K and some other things and fish oil and collagen. Oh my God, the supplements. I spend a fortune and we need a whole shelf for our supplements now. But I'm serious about them. These are staples for me. I review my list regularly and I use ChatGPT to make sure, because one supplement will have K and C and calcium and all sorts of things. Now go slow again. And I make sure I'm getting enough recommended, and I give my doctor my supplements. And I am looking at going over them with a new naturopath that I'm working with. But the supplement should support your healthy lifestyle, not replace healthy habits. So you need to be careful. You are trying to get the supplements the things that you need out of the food. But seriously, it's hard to eat that much that we need for when we get older. So take a serious look. Reach out to me if you want help with ChatGPT, and just take a picture of them, the front and the back, put it in a chat. Tell them, say, her, what am I missing? What do you recommend? It's pretty fun. 2 more. I'm hopefully make this about 20 minutes long. This was a tough one. I let go of alcohol. January of 2025, January 1st. I said I'm going to challenge myself with no alcohol in 2025, a dry 2025. It was really hard for me. My husband has been sober for almost 5 years, but I didn't let it go. I had the occasional wine or two. At a party, I always drank. Social event, I always drank. Holidays, I always drank. Celebration, I always drank. And it made me feel guilty because I knew how bad it was for me. But I still didn't give it up. So I finally just said, no, black or white, no gray zone for me for a whole year. And I have to say, it's not been easy. It's really, I love a glass of Cabernet with a good steak, or a glass of Chardonnay with some fish, or a glass of bubbly to celebrate getting a bunch of workouts filmed. But I did start to notice that just one drink affected my sleep dramatically, my mood, my brain, how I could speak on these walk and learns, my recovery. So I've got a few more months. I've told myself I'm going to have some wine in Paris, and I might enjoy an occasional glass during a special dinner, but I know will no longer make it a regular thing. The trade-off, better rest, clearer skin, clearer eyes, more energy, is completely worth it, and better bones. I could go on and on and on. So if you've been struggling with this, don't try the gray zone right now. Try a month of black or white. Gray zones don't work until you can really trust yourself. Black or white, say yes or no. The last one is I rest more, oh my gosh, without feeling guilty. This may be the most important change of all. I used to be that if I didn't get that sweaty hour-long workout, I was a big fat loser. Let's go 3 more minutes fast. There's 3 minutes. It might be shorter than 3 minutes because I might get through this. But pick up the pace a little bit. I'm on the steep part of this hill. Now, this may be the most important change of all. In my 40s and 50s, yeah, no pain, no gain was the way I stayed fit. Now I know recovery is where progress happens. And when there are days when I'm just feeling tired or I didn't get a good night's sleep, I give myself permission to skip a workout. I'll move. My goal every day is to try to get 10,000 steps and move at least 250 steps per hour. My Fitbit notifies me on that. If you've got a Fitbit, you can set that notification. Just moving more throughout the day is a goal of mine. Sometimes that walk instead of a workout, or a stretch instead of strength training, is what my body needs. Rest isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Trust me, I am stronger. I feel better and less beat up than I did when it was in my 30s. Let's do a quick 3-minute cool down. Do whatever you need to do. And while I just finish this last little bit and what these habits have given me. I'm stronger now, inside and out. I feel healthier. My husband asked how I was doing today. I'm like, I feel amazing. Nothing is hurting. My knees don't hurt when I did those squats and even lunges. I did a hike with Lori during this hike, and it felt great. We got over 9,000 miles. We went for 9,000 miles, 9,000 steps. I got an amazing cardio load of about 40, so it was good. But it's not because I'm doing more, but it's because I'm doing what's right for me. Now, none of this may make sense to you. What I wanted you to get from this, are there any ahas that you need to be looking at where things in your life just aren't making you feel good? If you're in your 50s, 60s, noticing changes in your body, aches, slower recovery, or frustration that what used to work doesn't work anymore, that's your invitation to evolve, not quit. Your body isn't breaking down, it's asking for something new. Okay? All right, now let's take one last deep breath in and out and in and out. I'd love to know in the comments below if you had any ahas or things that you might or a habit you might change now that you're in your 50s, 60s, or even 70s. Have a fantastic day. If this helped you move your body today, just imagine what we can do together. Come try the full Be Healthy Enough experience with a 7-day free trial. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And also, if you haven't already, be sure you've subscribed to this channel, turn on your notifications, especially if you're a woman over 50 and want to keep doing what you love for as long as possible. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. Bye.